Garrett had gotten into video games, got into Warzone, and he put on his Snapchat story and said, hey, we need some people to game with. I slid up, was like, oh, let's play. No response. Next day responds, hey, let's play. One of the first games we ever play at, we win, and I had like 17 kills, and so that's a good start.
Some of the content that you do is the golf dates.
Oh, baby. I mean, I might not be the best looking guy in the world, but dang, girls, got somebody I want to do one with. Don't know what time I'll be able to do it with them, but we shall see. I'm excited for that one. That could be the last one, let me tell you.
Today on the Scratch Golf Show, we feature Jackson Hargis, aka J Sploosh, where he's best known from the gaming world from his Twitch stream, twitch.tv/JSploosh, but he's recently made his splash in the YouTube golf world by joining Good and doing things what he describes as the Swiss Army knife of the group. Now, Sploosh and I got linked up through his Twitch stream. I'm super thankful that we did. He was an awesome guest. He talks about how he joined Good, how he met Garrett Clark through gaming, the correlation between gaming and golf, and a ton of other great topics. He's a really humble dude, talks about his experience and how he went from one viewer to streaming now, and he's just super grateful for all that he's gotten in life. So I hope you guys really enjoy it. Sploosh was an awesome guest. If you're new here to the Scratch Golf Show, welcome to the channel. My name is Marco. We mainly focus on interview-style videos with people in the YouTube golf space and other people in the professional golf world, such as caddies, CEOs, and plenty of other people. If you guys could do me a favor and hit that subscribe button below. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the start of the Masters this April. Like the video, leave a comment for your favorite part with Sploosh, and I hope you enjoy the interview. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Another interview on the Scratch Golf Show, and a guest I'm super excited to have on, someone I'm trying to get on for a while. We have the legend himself, Jackson Hargis, or AKA as he's known on Twitch, Sploosh. What's up, brother? How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Baby? Thank you for having me on. I know it's been a while. We've been trying to set this up.
Absolutely, man. It's all good. I got you done before Blake, and Blake promised me like 2 months ago, and he hasn't replied to me since then via text. So it's all good.
I will say, Blake travels a lot. Like, he's not even home right now.
Yeah, I know. And I know he's, from what I've heard from other good members, he's like not the greatest responder. So it's all good, man. I don't take it personal. I've got, we've got each other's cell phone numbers. We'll get connected. It'll happen when it happens. So
for sure.
Anyway, man, I'm obviously super familiar with your work, and maybe the people who are watching this who have seen you on other GM golf videos. But before we get into it, why don't you just introduce yourself, tell the people a little bit about who you are, how you got into kind of the internet gaming golf scene, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so I'm known by Sploosh in the gaming world, kind of in the golf world too. Basically, when I was younger, I always played video games growing up, played on like the Nintendo 64, the Wii, all that stuff. But the first little gaming, like when I fell in love with it, I can remember, was Black Ops 2, FaZe Apex. FaZe is a huge, you probably know what FaZe is. So FaZe Apex posted a video, and I happened to be in it, and I was like, whoa, this is really cool that you can like post videos of you playing games and stuff like that. So, and in the video, I've always been better than average at video games. So I did really good in the video, and then that's when my love started. A couple years later, Black Ops 3, the video game dropped, and that was the first game where I was like, okay, I am actually a lot better than people at. So that's when my competitive scene took over for gaming, and then Fortnite comes out, and my friends were like, you need to stream this. You see Ninja, you see all these good people. So I've been streaming for probably 5-6 years now. Before I moved to Dallas, with all the good guys, I was averaging like 1 to 5 viewers. Like it was like me, brother. Yeah, it was like me, my iPad, and all my friends, and basically it was just a way for us to watch my gameplay because I was like quote unquote a lot better than all my friends. So like they were like, oh, we want to watch you play because I'm dropping like these 20 kill games in Fortnite when no one was dropping like 5. Like that's how it happened. So that's how my gaming career started, and then obviously the name Sploosh, where that comes from. Have you ever seen the movie Holes?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So from the movie Holes with Shia LaBeouf, they drink something in the movie. It's like fermented peaches or something, and I thought it was really cool to have a one-word name. And like having like a one-word name like Scump or Methods or something like that is like, it was always so cool to me in the gaming space. So I was like, okay, I need to find something. Eventually ended up on Sploosh, and then that's how I met Garrett. So do you want to get into that already, or do you want to?
Yeah, no. Let's get into that in a little bit. What I want to talk about a little bit is it's super relatable, man. And the reason why I'm super happy that we got connected via Twitch is because, like, dude, I share the same love for gaming. Like, obviously, I do golf, and golf is my favorite thing to do in the world. One, I'm like you said, I'm a better than the average person at it. And two, I'm super competitive. And it's the same thing with gaming. You know, I'm not nearly to the skill level you are, but I was always decent at Call of Duty, and I love gaming, man. It's so funny because I got into the YouTube scene like way back. Like Modern Warfare 2 is when I was in college. I'm a little older than you, but funny. Like, you know, dude, I mean, Optic Hex, like all those guys making montages back in the day of the intervention quickscope, and like that's when I started watching YouTube, man. And then like obviously that evolved into other Modern Warfares and then Black Ops, and then eventually I started running into Twitch was on Fortnite. You know, I grew up with Fortnite, dude. I love it. Still play it from time to time, and so like I'm super relatable. Like Ninja, all those guys. Like I used to watch Twitch all the time back in the day because I love Fortnite and I love gaming, man, and it's so cool. So it's super relatable, and that's why I'm happy we got connected because now, I hadn't been on Twitch in a long time outside of just a random stream of like the Brian Bros. But now that you're a regular streamer, it's cool to be in there, get connected with people in the community because I love that space. And like I said, man, it's super relatable, and that's why I was happy to get you on. But like I said, I can relate to the gaming stuff, man. But it's cool to hear that you went from 1 viewers to 5 viewers. When I started the show, I would live stream like a McAfee style talk show. It would be like my wife, me, my mom, and my dad watching me. So man, it's crazy, and I've grown a little bit, but from a growth perspective, I can relate to a lot of what you're talking about from that perspective.
I did it for the love of it. Even though I had 1 viewer, I still thought it was so cool. I mean, I would during college, I would stay home and stream while all my friends went out, and it's just because it's always been a passion of mine. I knew I wanted to do something with it. I love entertaining people. I try to make people happy, try to make them smile, and I just always loved it. And then I finally I had that breaking point. I had that point where my growth did start to go up there a little bit, and I'm so blessed. It's insane.
How were your parents like? Because I know we've had Ashton and obviously the J&A guys when they went full time into content, and their parents were I guess didn't see it or weren't super supportive, which I get, right? My parents wanted me to go to a traditional college, and I completely understand. But how are your parents of if you wanted to do pursue streaming or gaming as a full time career? Were they supportive of it? Did they see the vision? How did they relate to you when that happened?
My mom, basically, to say it bluntly, is my mom was like, if you don't go, that's kind of stupid. I mean, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. My mom has been my biggest supporter through it all. She helps me with everything, and
love that.
Yeah, she's super supportive. Always, wanting the best. And when I think the first time she actually realized this is something that I could do was when Garrett gave me a phone call, because me and Garrett, we had our numbers for a while. We had all this stuff, and my mom was kind of skeptical because I'm like, oh mom, this is one of my friends, and you see him and he's has 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He's like, are you sure he's your friend? And I was like, yeah. And he ended up calling me, and my mom heard the conversation. She's like, wait, you guys are actually friends? And I was like, yeah, that's my dog, one of my best friends. And after that moment, when I told her about the opportunity that they'd given me, I was all in, and she's been so supportive, and still to this day is so supportive. Always helps me out, even if financially she helps me out, or just anything that I need. If I have questions, she's always there for me. So having that support factor is huge.
Yeah, no, for sure. I get it. My parents are super supportive. My wife is super supportive of me doing this as a passion project. Obviously, I have a full-time job, and that pays the bills. And eventually, I'd love to do this full-time if I ever get to that point. But, it's cool to have that support system.
Yeah.
So, I guess, how did you get linked up with Garrett and Good? And we can talk a little bit about that, because I know you do, the Good Gaming, and you have your own stream. But, how did you get linked up with all that? And I guess talk to me a little bit about that opportunity that you were just talking about, that you were talking about with your mom, and how, how that went.
So, 2020, COVID year, everyone's video gaming, right?
Oh, yeah.
Can't do nothing but play video games. So, Garrett had gotten into video games. He said that now knowing he's been in video games a lot longer, but he got into Warzone, and he put on his Snapchat story and said, hey, we need some people to game with. So
that's awesome.
What I did was I slid up on his story, was like, hey, I catch everyone their first dubs, blah, 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 because when I was in college and stuff, a couple of, our friends, like one of our friends played on the Kentucky basketball team, so we would play like with the athletes and stuff. And you think that's so cool in high school.
Oh
and
yeah.
college,
Oh yeah.
And they're like, oh, we need to play with this guy because he gets us the dub. So I'm playing with them. So I'm like, Garrett, I can get you your first dub. No response the first day. No response. So I'm like, okay, he's not gonna answer. Like,
left
it's
your
Garrett
ass on
Clark.
red.
And this is before Good. This is like Garrett Clark, like less than 500K subscribers probably. Like, so I slid up. Was like, oh, let's play. No response. Next day responds, hey, let's play. Gives me his Activision ID and we play. In the first game, one of the first games we ever play at, we win, and I had like 17 kills, and so that's a good start, right? Like this is in the time where people aren't dropping necessarily a lot of kills. People are like just sniping around the map. They're having fun. It's not too sweaty of a game yet. So that's how we linked up originally, and then time goes on, we play, and I really feel like him gaming, that was kind of like his escape from the YouTube world. Yeah. Like we'd get on the game, I wouldn't be like, oh, who'd you film with today, or what did you film? Like, what you got going on? I would never ask anything like that. I genuinely was just like, hey, let's play the game, let's be stupid, let's go carefree for a little bit. And eventually that happened for 4 years or 3 so we did that for 4 years. Like it developed. He followed me on Instagram, we would DM, then he gave me a Snapchat and we'd talk on there. And then the number came. But then they did their little road trip series where they took the bus and they drove around places.
I remember that. They came to Michigan, ironically enough.
So Garrett was like, hey, we're doing this little road trip series, we're coming to Kentucky. If you don't come, this might be like one of the only times, like, you never know. Right. So he was like, why don't you come drive to Louisville? Because I'm from Lexington originally, Kentucky. And he was like, drive to Louisville, come meet us. Let's see what goes on. I drive up there. Well, before I drove up there, I had to, I was working for my mom at the time. My mom owns her own car repair business, a mechanic shop. So I was working there, and she was like, well, like, you have to work today. And I was like, well, like, blah, 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 but I really need to do this. And she's like, whatever, like, I guess call off, like, whatever. Like, giving me a hard time. Yeah. And I go up there and I meet him, and I'm like in the video a couple times. Like, it's so funny. There's like clips of me in the background and stuff like that. That was when I was wearing glasses, like size 39 belt. Like, I was massive. and kind of just like we vibed. It was the first time we'd ever met in person. We hear each other's voices. We were on the FaceTime, but that was the first time we ever met. And were
you nervous at all? Because like obviously it's GM Golf, and like he's a normal dude, but like I know I'd be nervous meeting him for the first time, regardless of how good of friends I was.
I was nervous. I would never tell him that to his face. But I mean, I was a little nervous. I'm walking into a place, I see. Because, like, in those 4 years, I gamed with Bubby, I gamed with Sharf, I gamed with Steve, gamed with Garrett, gamed with Kendrick. Like, I gamed with everyone. But seeing them all in person, like, that was just a different breed. And,
for sure.
But, like, it was never awkward. It was never, like... we'd been friends for 4 years.
Yeah, you vibe. Yeah.
So, I mean, I was just so appreciative they let me come out there. And then that night, Garrett texted me. I remember the text he sent me. He was like, man, like... I don't know what it is, but you got it. Like, you got to come to Texas for a week. So eventually I go to Texas for a week, and this was this is probably June, July of 2023, 2024. I can't remember. 2023. Yeah. And I went down for that week, and kind of as a joke, I was like, hey, like, I'll move into this office down here, bro. Like, I'm ready for the grind. Like, and well, I ended up moving into the office and sleeping on the couch for 8 months.
Now, here you are living with them.
Yeah, now I'm living with them. It's crazy. We moved 3 times since I've been down here.
Yeah.
And I love it. I mean, I just can't thank the boys enough. It's insane.
Sorry to interrupt the interview with Sploosh. Just want to take a quick second to shout out the sponsor of today's video and our newest sponsor here on the Scratch Golf Show, the Dynamite brands. You'll notice the sweatshirt that I'm wearing in the video is a Dynamite sweatshirt. I actually packed it because I'm leaving for Arizona tomorrow. But they make awesome hats like this. They have black hats, white hats with different color sticks. They have a bunch of great apparel, and I'm super happy to be working with these guys. They're a PGA Tour caddy-driven business. So if you're interested in checking out that apparel, it's thedynamitebrands.com. The link will be in the description. Use code MARCO for 20% off your first-time purchase. Now let's get back to the interview with Sploosh. And if you're in Arizona this weekend and you happen to see this, shoot me a direct message on Instagram. Follow me. It's at the Scratch Golf Show. Now let's get back to the interview.
I get to go on this journey with them.
That's crazy, man. I know I've had obviously some of the guys on, and it's cool to hear like some of like even like Melosi, like when Garrett followed him, like how cool it was, and kind of the story of how everyone got linked up with Good. And like for me, like I talked about earlier, like I was super into YouTube. Like I've always been into YouTube. That's why I started doing my own channel. That's why I love doing it now. But like to get into YouTube golf was when COVID. Like for me, like dude, same. Like literally the first 2 months of COVID, like every day we'd probably get 16 guys on Call of Duty. We would do 8v8 customs. Yeah. Just every night for months, and it was the best time in the world. But that's obviously when Good came around, and for me, my love is always golf, YouTube, gaming, and all kind of meshed, and that's when I found Good, and from there it's kind of from it's been kind of from there on, and it's crazy to think about, but it's cool to hear kind of everyone's journey. I guess talk to me a little bit about what your role is within Good. Like, are you part of the group? Like, you do like, I guess, what do you do on a day-to-day basis if you are kind of quote unquote working for Good?
So. I do everything. I can go anywhere from being in front of the camera to filming. It's just whatever they need. Basically, I came down here with just a shot, just give me
a shot, man.
Just give me a shot. I'll do whatever. I'll do whatever.
Absolutely.
And so, kind of at first when I moved down here, I was just doing the streaming, like just the Good gaming stuff, and then eventually it was like, you want to like hold this camera, help out a little bit. Yeah. And then it was like, oh, like, do you want to be in some videos? And I was like, for sure, because golf has always been a passion of mine too.
Yeah.
So I would say that's kind of like, I'm like the utility man, Swiss Army knife. Basically, you can do whatever you want. Like, if they need me for a video, great. If they need me to help for a video filming wise, great. Just whatever they need, because I'm just fortunate enough to be down here, so anything they let me do, I'll totally do.
I love the chameleon role, man. I know I've seen you in, I just, for example, I think it was last night or whenever the TGL came out, the video vlog came out, you're in there doing TikToks while I'm watching your stream last night. I had you on both monitors. I know you've been in some J&A videos, and I love those J&A guys. It's cool, man. I respect it. For me, I started doing this, and I respect putting yourself out there. At the end of the day, it's a shot. Worst case, you're still young enough to, you have kind of that foundation. Talk to me a little bit about golf, man. You mentioned it's one of your passions outside of gaming. What does your game look like? How often do you get to play down there? Stuff like that.
So golf, I remember the day I actually started golfing. It was my stepdad actually and my stepbrother and a couple of our friends. We were in Hilton Head, and they all golfed. I didn't golf at the time. I was probably 15, 16, 17 years old, and I hadn't golfed yet. And one of my mom's rules was in high school I had to be a part of something. If it was a sport, a club, she just wanted me to get out there.
Get involved, absolutely.
So my thing was I played baseball up until high school, but I actually have like a bone disease. It sounds a lot worse than it is, but I have like these like bone tumors and endochondromas on my bones break easier. Okay. So I can't play like contact sports. Yeah. So golf's not contact. So my stepdad was like, hey, like, come with us to the golf course. I fell in love with it. Yeah. And I'm using Stratas, just the start of the line clubs,
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go play golf. So junior year was my first year golfing. I tried out for the team sophomore year, and I broke my finger like the day before trials or something like that. I broke my pinky finger. I interlocked. Yeah. Couldn't hit the golf club.
For sure.
So I set out the entire year. Junior year rolls around. I make the varsity team. I'm like, oh my God, this is my first year ever golfing. Yeah. I make the varsity team. I'm shooting like 95s and all that. And then senior year, I got a little better. I became the one man. I'm playing with guys like J.M. Butler, who's like the U.S. AM runner-up. They're just absolutely smoking me. I'm shooting like 80. Like they're shooting like 67.
Yeah.
And then that's where my love of golf really started. And then after that, COVID comes around, all my friends start golfing. I'm already better than my friends because I've been golfing longer. Right. And then, golf's always been a passion of mine. I like to say I'm a decent golfer. I like I'm about a 4 handicap, which is respectable.
I think anything single digits is respectable, regardless of what you do. Like, if you can keep a low handicap, that's respectable.
Mm-hmm. And I will say, from the tips, my game isn't hit the ball far. So from the tips, I'm going to score higher. The guys in the group are going to absolutely wax me. But you move me up a tee, and I'm dangerous.
Dangerous?
I'm dangerous. I'm dangerous. I'm not as bad as people think.
Yeah.
Because I can shoot low numbers. Like the first good video I was ever in, I shot 3 under. Like,
damn. Okay.
I can play golf, but like that doesn't show all the time because I'm just not consistent, and that's okay.
For sure.
But yeah, that's kind of just my love for golf, and like golf and gaming both are very mental and like just I know you can go on the game and just like brain rot, but if you want to play it at a competitive level, you got to think, and that's what I like to think about golf too. You gotta think.
Yeah, dude, they're both super competitive, and like I said, I feel like there's a correlation. I want to get your thoughts about that in a little bit. But what kind of clubs do you play? Do you play some Callaways?
Yeah, I got all Callaways. I have the Elite driver. I actually that was the first time I ever got fitted. We went in like January to Orlando and they fit us for the driver. Yeah. I have Garrett's old irons, which I mean old irons as in like
last
2 years.
Year.
Yeah. And then some of the wedges and stuff.
Okay.
And then the good putter, obviously. Yeah. They made me one of those, but yeah, I'm hoping to get fitted if they have the opportunity to. If not, totally okay, because the clubs that I'm using now are way better than what I had.
Hell yeah, dude.
So,
that's awesome.
That's what's cool. Like, I mean, there's so many clubs at like we have like I guess Garrett has a house, and then the 2 other good houses. There's so many clubs throughout all of them. Like, you can find one
for sure.
But yeah, that's what I'm using now. Specs wise, I have no idea.
No, for sure.
I'm not a technical guy. The same way as
C-ball, hip ball, like Bubby likes to say.
Exactly. Like people ask all the time, like, "What are you using?" "Oh, what shaft you got?" I'm like, I got some KBS shafts. I don't know, and like stuff like that. And then so that's what I'm gaming with right now. The Elite driver, I absolutely love.
I've seen some videos. Yeah, I'm a Callaway driver guy. I got I don't know if you can see my clubs over behind this shoulder, but I've got a Paradigm Triple Diamond X. I love that club. I was at the range last night, and I was comparing another driver that a company sent me to test it just to see what I was doing, and like, dude, it's gonna take a lot for me to rip that Callaway out of my hands. Like I was a Callaway guy. Like I was in a Callaway driver before this model, and like the lower spin head and that Paradigm Triple Diamond, man. Like I'm getting like 187 ball speed and like 35 degree weather, and it's just so good. Yeah, I love it, man. So I can respect that. Talk to me a little bit about maybe some behind the scenes. Like I know you mentioned you're a Swiss Army knife guy, but talk to me a little bit about like some maybe untold or funny stories if if you're comfortable with either the J&A guys or on a good week. Like what are those weeks like? And if you could share some stories, that'd be we'd appreciate some humor.
So good weeks, GM golf weeks. Anytime we're all together, the content is amazing, especially outside of golf. Even if we don't have a camera on, we're always doing something. I remember the first GM Golf Week I ever went on. We went to Austin, Texas, sorry, and we went to like a Noah Khan concert. We went to this big old festival. We're always doing something. Yeah. Because like outside of filming and everything, we're all good. We're all best friends. We're always doing stuff together. As far as funny, I'm trying to think of stuff that's hilarious that we've done. One of the most memorable thoughts I can think of off the top of my head is when I got a kidney stone in Branson during one of the Good Golf Weeks. It was awful. I was dying.
Oh yeah. How do you deal with that when you're swinging?
So basically what happened, it was the Yeti golf or the Yeti fishing video.
I remember that. Yeah. J&A guys were down there.
I didn't drink any water that entire week or that entire day.
Yeah.
Next day rolls around, we're filming one of the Good podcasts, and all of a sudden I start like, I'm a very you've seen me move the entire time. I'm a very fidgety guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was dying in that podcast, and I was like, I have to go use the restroom. I'm thinking I'm dying, and then I talked to Jeff, the executive producer, and I'm like, hey man, I can't film today. I have to just sit. Yeah. He's like, okay, and I was like, if I can have your keys to the car, I'll drive to the course so I feel better. They leave, and I instantly drive myself to the hospital. I was in so much pain. God. Oh, dude. I was in so much pain. I was dying.
Brother. Oh, yeah.
And so I get to the hospital. It's so funny. Have you ever had a kidney stone?
No, I haven't.
Oh, yeah. You don't want one. So it basically got stuck. It got stuck. It wasn't hurting anymore. And I'm like, okay, I can leave. I'm about to leave, and then all of a sudden, if it wasn't worse round 2. So I stayed in the hospital a little bit. Everybody was making fun of me. They were calling me Stones.
Oh my god!
But that's just the thing. We're all gonna pick on each other. We're all gonna make some jokes towards each other.
Oh, I love how you lean into the roasting. Oh yeah, the roast streams are the best, bro.
Please roast me. It's great content. So we did that, and then that was pretty great. Another fun story was on a GM Golf Week. one of the date videos I did, we actually went out like in Lawrence. Like we went to some bars afterwards.
Yeah.
And I went like one of the girls I went on the date with was like actually out with us, and it was just we were all just having a good time. We were living it up, you know. We're all young. We're all. I mean, me and Garrett are 24, so like we're just living.
Yeah, I love that, dude. What I'd give to be 24 again. I'm about to be 31 here in a couple weeks, so
Damn.
I get it, man. Enjoy it. Yeah, I'm married. I got, I've got a house. I've got a good life here in Michigan. But
I love that.
I'm super stoked, man. It's cool that you realize it. And it's like, you're only you're young once. Enjoy it while you can, especially when you've got. I don't want to take this wrong, but like financially, like I know Garrett obviously is pretty well off. So like, enjoy it while you can. And
sure.
That's awesome. Talk to me a little bit. Speaking of golf, you've played in a couple big tournaments. I think you did play in the Midwest Open and then you caddied in the Creator Classic. Talk to me a little bit about your experience at those events and how cool that had to be.
So I remember before those two, they had the Desert Open. They had the Desert Open, the par 3. And even before that, the first one of the first memories, live event-wise, was they did the live event when I went to Texas for that week. They did it at the par 3 course to finish up the road trip. I mean, seeing all those seeing all those fans and seeing everyone just come out for them was insane. Obviously, I was just some random on Garrett's back carrying his bag there. They were super super nice for letting me come in and do that. And then fast forward to the Desert Open, I've been in some videos, I've been in Garrett's videos, I've been around, so people are like noticing me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like, why are these people saying hi to me? Like, I'm just regular old Jackson. And then fast forward to the Midwest Open, and I actually played in it. And I remember the day I got the call, I was asleep. They do a Monday meeting every morning. And
I've heard.
I'm on a little bit of a different schedule than a lot of other people because I stay up gaming and streaming till like 4 a.m. So like, I'm up late. And so I get a call, and it's from Garrett. And the only thing he asked me was, hey, would you want to play in the Midwest Open? And I was like, sure. And then everybody just started dying laughing. Yeah. Because, like, obviously they know that, it meant a huge deal to me. I mean, like, I've never played in front of that many people, and I got the opportunity. Then I was like, I don't know who I'm playing with, blah, 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 blah. And then they finally tell me, so I'm like, okay, this is actually happening. Like, you got to start getting better at golf, buddy. You're going to play in front of a bunch of people. Then they let me know that I'm playing with Chance Taylor. Absolutely love that man.
I love Chance.
He's one of the best golfers I've ever made.
I want to try and get him on the show. His content is hilarious.
His content's great. He hits the golf ball so incredibly well. Yeah. We get to French Lick the day before the event, and or 2 days before, we play some practice rounds. We're just out there vibing, tanking it all in, because I'll probably, there's only 5, you're not going to have a lot of those moments. Yeah, oh yeah, dude. And we're in French Lick, Indiana, in the middle of nowhere. Yep. It was a really cool experience. My mom, my sister, my aunt and uncle all came because I'm from Kentucky. It's like an hour, 2 hours away.
I know. Yeah, I played there. I played those courses.
It was cool to see that and just take it all in. I was so nervous. I mean, that first tee ball.
Yeah, how was that first tee ball?
Oh, dude. Well, my thing was this. I'm going to get the crowd pumped up. Yeah. And I'm going to get them excited for, me to swing. Yeah. So this is right after Garrett started calling me Russell from up. So everyone on the team was like, let's go, Russell. And I'm like, yeah, come on. Like, eat it up. Like, come on. And then eventually I striked it down the middle somehow. Yeah. I mean, I probably hit it 220, 230.
Hey, it's in the fairway. It's not in the
fairway. Chance went before me. He hit an absolute tank. So, we were all good. And just playing that the entire time, we were up towards the top for a while. Yeah. I think me and Bubby's team, he was playing with Mason Green. It was in our group. We were all together. We were both at the top for a while. We were kind of neck and neck. I had some good shots, some good putts. And then eventually they came in third. But, I mean, that experience was so cool. Sharing it with my mother. It was the first time my mom got to see me in that space.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, and so, I mean, that's one of my best memories for sure.
Yeah. That's awesome. One thing I want to touch on is I love how humble and like appreciative you are of like everything that you have. Like you're not like some douchebag who like is like, yeah, I'm famous now and like yeah, look at me. Like you're super humble. And I love that. I also love, it seems like, I know you've shout out your mom a lot. Like, shout out Mrs. Hargis. If that's your mom, that's awesome. Mama Sploosh. My mom is my biggest supporter, man. My mom watches every single one of my videos. The reason I do this is like my mom wanted me to do YouTube for like a really long time. And like she's literally the reason I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. Like I always tell the story of like, I've been thinking about doing YouTube for a while. And my wife, I talked about it with her. She told me, shut the fuck up and do it already. So I did it. But the reason, like the main reason is my mom believed in me more than anyone. And so like that's the reason why I do it, and that's super cool to hear. Another thing I wanted to touch on was, dude, I love like how like those live events look so cool because obviously there's the one in a couple or next week that I'm going to be at. It's my first time going to a good live event. Super stoked to go check out the par 3 course at Grass Clippings in Arizona. But I'm pissed, dude, because I wanted to go to the French Lick one because obviously I'm in Michigan. I've been to French Lick. Like those courses aren't that far from me, and like from a distance perspective, that would have been my closest option. But it was like the week, I think it was a week after I got back from my honeymoon. So like I had just been on a long vacation. So I didn't get to go. It sucks, but like it is what it is. I'm super happy and I get to go check out that content. But what about the Creator Classic? Because I know you were on someone's bag. I forget whose bag you were on.
Actually, I wasn't on a bag actually.
Oh, you weren't?
No, I just went in support of Garrett because obviously I wanted to be there for him. Blake was on his bag, but it was a really cool experience. I mean, me and we were there. We were all together. I got to be like behind the scenes, like in the ropes, all yada yada yada. It was such a cool experience. I mean, they're playing Eastlake. I mean, Garrett made that 9.
Yeah.
Oh, that was. I felt so bad for him because this is what's so funny about it. I didn't even know he made a 9.
Really? I remember it was all over Twitter.
Well, at the moment, I'm like, oh, like the next hole after the 9, I'm like, okay, so he's still even. And some guy goes, he's not even. He just made a 9. I was like, what? Because I was talking to some fans at the time, and I didn't see him make that. And then that's where one of my TikToks we made where I was like passing the phone to somebody that just made a 9 or whatever. That one kind of blew up at that time. But the Creator Classic was cool. We met some guys from 2K. There was a bunch of people there. I met some creators that I hadn't met before, and so I definitely really appreciate that experience as well because they actually surprised me with a good driver there. I didn't have one. Yeah.
That's sick.
Garrett surprised me.
I think I remember that now.
They surprised me with one, and then I used that for a while, and then now I have the Elite. But it was such a cool experience. Definitely went up there.
I'm sure, man. I'm sure that's awesome. Are you going to be in Arizona? I think.
Well, at first I wasn't going to be in Arizona, but I am going to be in Arizona.
So we are going. Okay, so we are going to link up next week.
We'll link up for sure. Blake's going now as well.
Yeah, I saw that. So I'll link up with you guys here in a week.
Yeah, we'll definitely all be there. I'm excited to go. I'm not sure how long I'm going to stay, but now kind of to touch back on the streaming side of things, something that I've been getting into is those IRL streams.
Yeah.
With the phone. Yeah. So now I don't really have to be like afraid of not being home because I used to when I would go on these trips and stuff like I'm like in terms of like income and not to get into that, like my main source is streaming.
Yeah, no, well, you please get into it. I'm sure people are curious about your process and how that works from your perspective. So
when I'm not streaming for 10 days at a time, I'm like, oh gosh, this is not good.
Right, especially when your subs can fluctuate on Twitch on a daily basis.
Yeah. On Twitch, for you guys that don't know, subs, they fluctuate. They you pay a monthly subscription to watch somebody to not have ads and to have other things in the chat. And like when I wasn't streaming, I'm like, okay, this is like X amount of money that I'm losing.
Yeah.
So having that IRL phone now, it just takes so much weight off my shoulders.
Yeah, for sure.
In terms of, I can go live for 30 minutes and it be some of my best content of that day because people are just they love seeing us outside of the videos. Which is
we love it, dude. It's so cool seeing the personality. For me, like obviously being a little older, I know Good has to be family friendly, but hearing you guys like curse, like I love that. It's like you guys are, not so much you, but like Garrett and those other guys. Like it's cool to hear, even like Ashton, like you guys are human. You guys, I get it. And I love the IRL streams. Obviously, you know, I try to tune into every stream you, and I feel like the IRL streams have been awesome. Whether you're at the Good Warehouse, we had the one at TGL like 3 weeks ago when you guys are doing with all the boys and the text talk was going off in the store. That shit was hilarious, bro.
It just, I think it's almost, I don't know if it's like the embarrassing factor or whatever, but people just love seeing like us
it's
in
funny,
like Walgreens and stuff.
It's
and
cool.
I'm so fortunate that I was able to like get the phone. It was always been on my mind ever since. So Garrett did a live stream, one of his first on YouTube, or not first, but one of the most recent ones, where he did not leaving the course so we make a hole in one.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
I actually made the hole in one.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So ever since that day, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to IRL stream, and now I can. So
love that, dude.
That's huge for me.
And so plug your Twitch stream. Where should the people? I'll link it in the description. But obviously, is it twitch.tv/JSploosh?
Yeah, there we go. Come on now.
I think it's in a favorite in one of my browsers on my PC.
Oh, that's love right there. That's love right there.
So speaking of Twitch streams and content, some of the content that you do is the golf dates. And I think that's been pretty popular. I know we've seen Ashton, and I know you and Ashton did a video on Garrett's channel for The Bachelor. Talk to me about like the idea behind that content and like maybe some behind the scenes stuff with some of the people, and just we'll start there and see where the conversation goes.
So golf dates, that's one of the things that I think people might recognize me the most from, especially because I mean Garrett gave me that platform. I remember the first time we did a golf date, I didn't know what was going on. We had ended up with a girl on the course, Shoutout McLean, and we asked to play with her. But really the idea, I think it was kind of like, I think J&A did it first. So shout out to J&A, you know, Ashton and John.
Love those guys.
They're the best.
They're the best, man.
And then we were like, Garrett had a girlfriend. So like at the time, like, so he couldn't do it at all. And then it was kind of like, well, let's see this short little Russell-looking kid try to talk to women. And that's basically how it went down. It was like, it's going to be funny seeing Jackson stumble around his words and talking to girls and all this stuff. So the first one happened, and then after the first one, it boomed. And I don't think any of us were expecting that. I think maybe it might have boomed because people thought it was Garrett going on a date and not me.
But at the end of the day, this is what it is. It boomed. Who cares?
It boomed. So it boomed. And then after that video, we're like, okay, we need to do it again. And for the longest time, we were like, okay, we need to find someone else to do this. And I mean, I might not be the best looking guy in the world, but dang, girls,
got Riz.
Give me a shot. You
got Riz. Come on, now.
We couldn't find anyone, dude. We couldn't find anyone. No one would want to come on a date. So then it kind of resulted to, well, actually, before it resulted to that, Joey was in town. Joey Graziadei, the Bachelor winner.
Yeah.
And we were trying to find girls to go on a date with me. Joey put on a story if anybody wants to go play golf, blah, blah, blah.
That's awesome.
And it's a bunch of girls just replying to the DMs like, my boyfriend would love to play. And we're like, oh, we don't need somebody with a boyfriend. So that happened. And then Garrett was like, hey, we need to do this video. So just text somebody from your hometown. And I ended up texting one of my friends, Maddie. And then while we texted her, we went golfing the next day. I got another date video was one of the cart girls from the golf course we were at. And those happened like back-to-back days. It was insane. So we went from not having one to having two. And then obviously the last one we filmed was in Kansas with Blake's sister's roommate. We did one of those. And then we actually haven't done one since, but hoping to do a couple soon. Got somebody I want to do one with. Don't know what time we'll be able to do it with them, but we shall see. I'm excited for that one. That could be the last one. Let me tell you.
Let's go. As a married man, I respect it. Let's hope you find the right one, man. You never know when that day's gonna come. I met my wife stumbling through at a party through a mutual friend. I never know I'd meet her, but hey, we did a golf day last night. We went to the range.
Oh, I love that. It kind of started out as a joke though. Like like in my mind. Like, they're golf dates, but, like, we're just kind of joking content-wise, doing it for the content. and then it kind of turned into, wait, actually we could do this with me going on actual dates, like, because this is cool. But it was a great opportunity Garrett gave me, and I think that comes with some good content. And people, like, they can dog on me in the videos and stuff, but I don't care. I'm out there just being myself. I'll engage it.
Are those videos, like, not even like that? Are they scripted at all? Like, does Garrett do a lot of scripting behind the scenes, or he just turns the camera on and here we are? Obviously he's been doing it forever, but okay. That's cool.
Like, for those videos in particular, it's just kind of go in and do them, and wherever the conversation takes you. I mean, me and Garrett are really good friends, so he knows how to push my buttons and make fun of me and all that stuff.
For the boys.
And it's so funny. People in the comments are like, Garrett's so mean to Jackson. I'm like, if Garrett wasn't doing that to me, I would feel like he's mad at me. That's just like how our relationship is.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. I have that relationship with my boys where it's like, I tell the people I don't like, nice shot when they hit it down the fairway. With my boys, I tell them nice shot when they shank it in the water or some shit like that. You know what I mean? To put it in golf perspective. All right, man. Well, talk to me a little bit about your thoughts on, like, I know we've touched on a little bit, but like golfing, gaming. Do you think there's a correlation there? Because I feel like a lot of golfers, at least that I know, play video games and vice versa. So do you think there's a correlation there, and why?
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely a correlation. I'm seeing a lot of gamers get into the golf space.
Oh, yeah.
Golfers get in the gaming space. Big one, Minwoo Lee. I mean, I've gamed with him a bunch, streamed with him a bunch.
That's fucking sick, dude. I love Minwoo Lee.
He's insane at Call of Duty. Yeah. He's one of the best athletes I've definitely played with.
Yeah.
Like, with this platform. I mean, one of my first ever streams was with him, and he's like,
that's awesome.
I didn't understand that he, like, knew, like, what he was talking about, and then so he's pretty good. And then you got, like, the Golf Gaming Club, Shibby and Hung and Sean and all those guys. They started this thing where all the streamers are coming and playing golf. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know if it's because for golf, gaming is their getaway, and if for gaming, golf is their getaway.
Yeah.
But for some reason, so many people like to do both.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, there's so many streamers nowadays getting into golf. Tim the Tatman, Nick Merckx, Symphony, Nate Hill, all these guys. I mean, and it's just crazy to me that there's such a big,
crossover. No, that was going to be my thing. Like, dude, like, obviously, like, I know I talked about, I'm a Fortnite guy, so, like, Ninja, Tim the Tatman, those are guys I used to watch when I was your age, in, like, my early 20s when Fortnite was popping, and seeing those guys golf now, even an example, like, the Good Live bet, Nate Shot's going to be there. Nate Shot's one of the biggest streamers. Who's the biggest person that you've streamed or played with? Like, it could be athlete, streamer. I guess just feel free to name drop whoever. I'm curious. Minwoo Lee is a huge name because I love golf, pro golf.
In terms of Call of Duty, I did a softball live stream with all the Optic guys.
That's sick.
So I met Scump and Methods.
That's sick.
And so those are pretty cool. I've gamed with Zenny a couple times. I gamed with some of the guys on the UK basketball team. I got some friends there. Shout out to them. Andrew Carr, Travis Perry, Colin Chandler. Andrew Carr is a bucket in on the court and really good at Call of Duty. He's probably the best overall athlete I've played with. But other streamers I played with, Air Cool, he's kind of an IRL, kind of Fortnite guy. And been talking to Symphony, maybe playing with him, Slack. It's just a bunch of guys that, given the platform that I have, they're like, oh, let's play.
Symphony is crazy, and he's like one of the best. I mean, I don't really watch a ton of COD streams outside of you anymore, just because I kind of got away from it until I bought Black Ops 2 or whatever, Black Ops 6, whatever we're on now. That's awesome, dude, and it's cool to see that at some point you appreciate the one viewer, but now that you have a platform, it's super cool. And for me, like doing this, it's like I used to say, like I said, I live stream in front of my mom, and now here I am having conversations with good Brian Bros, and it's like, so it's kind of that same thing of like, now that I have this platform, it's super cool to interact.
Might as well ask, like, what are they gonna say? No.
Well, like, dude, I mean, I don't rely on income like this. I don't make money from this yet. I mean, obviously, I want to, but like that's kind of my whole approach of like, I ask people like. I've asked Garrett, and I'll never ask like you or Blake to like introduce me to Garrett or ask him for me, but I'll ask him 1,000 times if he says yes on the 1,000th first time, because like I have nothing to lose. I worked in sales for 7 years. The worst I've been told to fuck off, whatever you want. Like the worst they're gonna tell me is no. But as soon as they tell me no, I'm respectable. I'll never ask again. But until you tell me no, like I'll keep asking because I have nothing to lose, man. That's kind of been my whole
Exactly.
approach with this one. So, cool. Well, what about the other side? Because I know you obviously do good. From a content perspective, like when you're not streaming or when you're not doing stuff, like do you consume a lot of Twitch, YouTube golf? Like, what are your thoughts on kind of where content's going from that perspective?
I have probably watched 1 or 2 YouTube golf videos in the last
Fair.
4 weeks. I don't know. To me, if I have free time, I'm going to be streaming.
Yeah.
Or gaming or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't really watch a lot of YouTubers. I mean, I might watch a Garrett video or a Good video here and there. But the only people that I really like consume their content is Outdoor Boys. Have you ever seen him? Oh,
No.
I love his stuff. He's
No.
just an outdoor YouTuber. He lives in like Alaska.
Okay.
It's kind of like
I
one of
love
those videos.
the different niches you can
Oh,
find
dude,
on YouTube. Man.
it's so
crazy.
great. He's like building bushcraft shelters. Like,
Yeah.
what am I even talking about? I'm never gonna go to Alaska, but like,
Yeah.
I love watching this. And then Danny Duncan's great, but I don't really watch a lot of golf YouTube, and that's kind of how it's always been. It's just like golf's
Yeah.
a passion for mine, but if I'm gonna sit down and watch something, I'm gonna watch like a movie or a TV
Yeah.
show, or I'm gonna game, and that's
That's
how I've
fair.
always been. But that's no knock to it, because I know
No,
there's
honestly, dude, we've gotten that answer from a lot of creators. Like J&A said the same thing. Like they don't consume because they don't want to. It's like your job, right? Like
Yeah.
for me, like I won't go consume whatever my career. You know, I don't want to say my
Yeah.
professional career on here, but
Oh,
like
yeah.
that on YouTube. Like YouTube is my escape, and like it allows me because I'm super passionate. Like I love golf and stuff like that. No, so I'm not surprising. I completely get that. Okay, so last question before we do some rapid fires, and I'll let you go, man. I appreciate it. But like the you obviously stream on Twitch, but do you have a YouTube channel, and kind of what are the differences between streaming on like a YouTube versus Twitch or whatever? Not there's a million different platforms to stream on.
Yeah, Twitch has just always been the thing that I did.
Yeah.
And I want to start getting into TikTok streaming as well, like live
Yeah.
streaming on both. But the reason I did Twitch is just because that's kind of been like where all the gamers were at first.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing kind of a switch to the YouTube side. I have a YouTube channel that I like posted a little bit on.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to get back into that. I want to start posting a lot more content on YouTube just because like
Yeah.
I'm so passionate about it now. I kind of took not a break, but I was kind of just streaming every day.
Yeah.
And with streaming, it's kind of a cheat code. I can stream, get like 5 videos in that stream, and just have 5 videos for the next week.
Yeah.
And I kind of stopped doing that just with traveling so much, but I'm definitely going to get back into it.
Do you have any plans for the Good Gaming channel? Because I know, isn't that kind of your baby?
Yeah, it definitely is. I definitely want to restart that. We kind of stopped that for a couple of different reasons, but that's definitely going to be something that we bring back with the new like PGA 2K25 that's coming out. Call of Duty hopefully returning with Verdansk. Like, I got some big ideas and stuff.
For sure.
But YouTube and Twitch, as similar as they are, there's so many differences. Like,
Yeah.
when you tell somebody that knows about YouTube, oh, I have this many subscribers, they're like, oh, that's not a lot. But then I'm like, okay, but I'm also having to recycle those subs every month because
Yeah.
I wouldn't be getting like whatever sub
Right,
count.
because
if
Twitch
it-
pays on a monthly per month basis.
Yeah, Twitch pays month to month ad revenue and subscriber count.
Yeah.
So we got that, and I mean, I love both platforms. Both platforms are great, but I think I'll probably stay to streaming on Twitch. For
Yeah.
someone like Garrett, where he streams on Twitch just for fun, if he streamed on YouTube, like monetarily, it would be so much better. But it's more
Yeah.
like a passion thing for him
Yeah.
to stream on Twitch. Plus, I like the interface on Twitch a lot better, but that's just
Yeah.
me.
For sure. Cool, man. Let's do some rapid fires and we'll get you out of here, Splooshy.
Gotcha.
Favorite golfer? Could be professional, could be creator, doesn't have to be. You can take that question however you want it.
Yeah, I will say favorite golfer professionally was definitely got to be Woozy. I mean,
I feel that.
I think just
That's
the way
awesome.
that his marketing team and his just like
Chef.
getting him out there, chef, and just like posting the TikToks. I feel like that's great. I mean, I'm a huge fan of golf, so I love Ludwig. I love Kevin Kisner. I love.
Do you consume a lot of professional golf? Like, do
I
you watch-
used to.
Okay.
I'm big
Yeah.
into golf. I mean, I love watching sports. So
Yeah.
like sports are a huge passion of mine as well. Like a lot of people think that like because I stream, I'm a nerd. I have no idea what's in my computer right now. I just know
For
that
sure.
it's good and I'm gonna play video games.
Yeah, for sure.
But Kevin Kisner was a big one of mine. Shout out Joel Damon.
Love Joel Damon.
Good
Trying to get his
signing.
caddy on.
Really?
Caddy on. Yeah.
And then you gotta love Tiger and Bryson and
Yeah.
all those guys, but Woozy's definitely my favorite. And then creator wise, is it Glaze if I say Garrett?
No.
I mean Garrett. I've seen that dude hit some crazy golf shots, but the greatest creator golf shot I've ever seen was Chance Taylor, and when we played the Midwest Open, he hit
dude, he's nasty.
Oh, he hit a driver, hands above his head, out of the rough to like 12 yards off the green on a par 5. So
that's awesome.
Creator wise, definitely them two.
Favorite golf course?
Paynes Valley, hands down. That was like one of the first like long-term good trips I've ever been on.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I almost beat Garrett straight up. A lot of people don't know this. So me and Garrett, we got there like a day early.
Yeah.
Me and Garrett went out that night and played, and I was beating Garrett by 2 straight up, and I had 4 strokes with like 7 to play. So I'm up 6 with 7 to play. He says to me, he turns and says, "I'm going to beat you, Jackson." And I'm like, "No, you're not." Then the hole goes on. He chips in. He's like, "Yep, get ready for it." I absolutely crumble. He beats me. And it was crazy because like I was like even at the time, and he was just like 2 over. And like I'm like playing like a great round, and he comes back and beat me. But definitely Paynes Valley. I haven't had the opportunity to play like these crazy courses like them.
Yeah.
But all of the courses in Branson are insane.
Okay, I was going to ask the nicest golf course, but we can skip that one because you just kind of talked about. I assume Paynes Valley is probably your nicest, but I'll talk to you about this favorite video game you've ever played and why.
That's actually a really tough question. My favorite video game I've ever played. There's a couple of. Can I name a couple, or do I have to name one?
Whatever you want. These are rapid. You could do with whatever you want, man.
In terms of what got me into gaming, I know I already said it. Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
That was the game where I first realized that I could like play this at a higher level, and so that game always has a special place in my heart. Fortnite, obviously. Yeah. I mean, I was one of those Fortnite kids that was spending money on their mom's credit card. And, I'm doing all that, and then. But I think the best gaming times I've ever had in my life were probably Verdansk, because that's where I met some of my best friends right now. It led me to do the job that I'm doing right now. And times were just so different back then. I mean, we're all indoors. There's not a lot to be happy about at that time.
Yeah. COD was the release, man.
COD was the release, and I mean, I would hop on, and my mom would go to work, and I would just hop on and play COD all day. And I mean, I loved it, and I think that Verdansk will probably, if I had to name one, Call of Duty Warzone, because that's where I just met everyone.
For sure.
Those are some of my best memories.
Best golf round or lowest golf round?
It was recently. So no one's gonna believe this because it's so crazy. So when I don't play from the tips, like I said, I'm pretty good at golf.
Yeah.
We had a group in Kentucky. I'm still a member at a place called Champions Trace, or Keen Trace. They actually have a PGA event there. It was the Barbasol. I don't know if you watch professional golf, but
yeah, I do. Yeah.
So they have the Barbasol there, and we have 2 courses. And at Keen Trace one day, we had a group of 18 people or 16 people, 4 groups of 4. We're playing in like this big money game.
Yeah.
And I shot 65 with 8 birdies and a bogey.
Damn.
Yeah.
Look at you. It wasn't.
Oh, it was insane.
My best round.
It wasn't from the tips or anything like that.
It's all good. 65, man.
Yeah,
people who give you shit can fuck off. Shooting under par is not easy.
Oh, it was insane. It was the coolest golf round I've ever had in my life. For sure. That course sets up perfectly for me, and it's a lot easier, especially because I've played it so many times.
Yeah.
And then I had a day where I was making every putt. I started off like 2 under through, because it's a super easy par 4 and a super easy par 5 right off the rip. I was like 2 under through 3, and I was like, okay, like this could be the day. And I ended up shooting 65. I've never had a bogey-free round though. Okay. That's the next on my golf bucket list. Is,
I've had bogey-free 9s, but not 18.
Okay, yeah, I was bogey-free on the front 9 that round, and then I bogeyed 12 actually, which is a really long.
Still respectable, dude. Yeah. It's a good round.
Oh, dude,
all right, man. Ecstatic. Last one, and then I'll let you go. Coolest moment on stream in your career?
Ooh. Coolest moment. Ooh, that's tough.
Is this Chris Varner related? Chris Varner getting a shout out on the pod here.
Shout out Chris Varner. That man is one of the most generous people I've ever met, and I will forever be indebted to him. Coolest moment though. Again, I got a bunch like off the top of my head. I'm just so fortunate and like blessed to be where I am. The earliest one was definitely when I hit 1,000 subs for the first time.
Yeah.
I hit 1,000 subs, and everyone was in my room. We all are going nuts. And,
Yeah.
and that was just a huge moment for me. Hole in one on Garrett's stream was pretty cool.
Yeah.
On a real or on the par 3 course. Him shaving my head. But coolest moment overall, gaming related, has to be when I won the 10K bot bash for Optic. Optic Hitch actually hosted a Call of Duty tournament. And me and Daltouche, shout out Daltouche, my dog.
Daltouche.
He's awesome. I love
stream the other
Daltouche.
day, baby.
Yeah, I love Daltouche. Me, Daltouche, and a guy named Raxi, we played in a Call of Duty 4v4 tournament where the fourth teammate on your team was a legit bot from the game. Like, he was AI. And we ended up winning that. And that's definitely one of the coolest moments I've ever had. Just because, I mean, it was the first time I got invited to one of these big tournaments.
Yeah.
And I won it. And, like, I will say, it kind of is like, there's like a fine line because it's like a creator pro tournament.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not really just a creator, but I'm almost not a pro. So if you gave me the pro slot, the team would be bad. But if you put me on the creator slot, the team's going to be really good.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what we had, and we ended up winning. And I mean, what a great time. I remember that. AJ was in the room with me. Bubby was in the room with me.
That's awesome.
And this was at the time where, like, when I started streaming, like, back in the day, I had 1 viewer. When I came down here and everybody was in my room and people were shouting me out, I had hundreds of viewers. But then after people stopped shouting me out because they're not coming in as much, I had like 20. And then, like, so that was the first time I had like 100 viewers consistently by myself. And unfortunately enough, I'm able to do that now, but that was the first time I did it. So winning that in front of everybody was so cool.
That's awesome, dude. Well, I love your streams, guys. Like I said, make sure you follow Sploosh on Twitch in the description. Tune into his streams; they're awesome. I try and tune in as much as I can, whether it's Call of Duty, IRL, beating balls at the Good Warehouse, trying to get a hole in one, a roast stream, which we all love. Like I said, enjoy it. Tune in. He's live most weekdays in the evening, right? I don't think you have a set schedule, do you?
No set schedule. I just try to stream every day that I can. I stream. Cool. I try to go around 5 Central, 6 Central every time, but other than that, it could be in an hour.
For sure.
Where we're filming this.
Cool, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed J Sploosh. If you did, leave a comment below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And thanks for coming on, Sploosh. Before we sign off, dude, any last minute messages, plug whatever you want. If you have some, like, I know Johnny gave some, like, advice, like, you know, professional advice, Johnny, whatever you want, and then we'll let you go, man.
Johnny advice, man.
Dude.
I love Johnny. I love everybody in the group. But, I just want to say, like, if you really are passionate about something, go after it. I mean, I dropped everything I was doing. I dropped out of college and was able to come, you know, create some content with some great fellas that gave me an opportunity. So super grateful for them. Super grateful for everybody that watches. Super grateful for you to bring me on here because this is really cool. I
appreciate it. Thank you.
But yeah, insane time. Can't wait for the new year. Can't wait to keep grinding. And yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. That's Sploosh. Take it easy.
Peace.
Golf world by joining Good and doing things what he describes as the Swiss Army knife of the group. Now, Sploosh and I got linked up through his Twitch stream. I'm super thankful that we did. He was an awesome guest. He talks about how he joined Good, how he met Garrett Clark through gaming, the correlation between gaming and golf, and a ton of other great topics. He's a really humble dude, talks about his experience and how he went from 1 viewer to streaming now, and he's just super grateful for all that he's gotten in life. So I hope you guys really enjoy it. Sploosh was an awesome guest. If you're new here to the Scratch Golf Show, welcome to the channel. My name is Marco. We mainly focus on interview-style videos with people in the YouTube golf space and other people in the professional golf world, such as caddies, CEOs, and plenty of other people. If you guys could do me a favor and hit that subscribe button below. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the start of the Masters this April. Like the video, leave a comment for your favorite part with Sploosh, and I hope you enjoy the interview.